Let's slide on over to Women's Eye View. The lovely hostess of this segment here on the Capital Forum is Miss Abla Doku. She's the publisher of A Bridal magazine. This week, our honored guest is Ronnie Lucas, who is a true gentleman. He's the president of MSM. Let's view this dialogue together.
Welcome to Women's Eye View, an educational series covering thoughts, perspective, and outlook on business, entertainment, fashion, finance, leadership, sex, health, and wellness. I am Abla Doku. Thank you for joining us. Today, we have with us Ronnie Lucas, founder of Platinum Dynamic Institute, a training entity that provides unique courses and workshops covering business development, self-improvement, and real estate investment. Thank you so much for joining us, Ronnie.
Thank you for inviting me onto your show today.
So today we're going to be talking about female entrepreneurship and leadership. What is it about the female energy that is missing in leadership?
That is a very good question. I mean, for the past hundreds of years, everything has been pretty much dominated from a male perspective. That's in business, that's in leadership. I don't care if we're talking politics or if we're just talking just straight out business. Okay, everything, the male has been the dominant figure there. And as a result, everything has been shaped accordingly. There is a lot, I consider to be, and this is strictly from my perspective, a lot of chaos. There's a lot of disunity in the way that things are today, and I just think with a female principle of energy coming back in, it's going to help to balance. It's going to create the balance that's needed throughout the world today, and I say that this is very, very much needed today.
So you think that women going more into entrepreneurship or leadership is going to balance out and help society as a whole and even the world as a whole to be in a better place?
Absolutely. And I can speak politically if you were to look. For the past few years, things have been mainly about aggression, conquest. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, like the decisions that have been made from the top, they've kind of trickled down, and there's a lot of industries that have been built around that particular mindset. Okay, so now you bring the female energy back into it, and where they're coming from is more from the heart. And coming from the heart, you're going to find that there's a lot more wisdom than just if you are strictly left brain oriented and everything is coming strictly from what you consider to be intellect. Yep.
So what are some of the things that affect or are problematic for women who want to go into leadership? What are some of the challenges?
God, there's lots of challenges, okay, in which, first of all, let me kind of preface what I'm going to say. As the universe, the whole universe is actually kind of shifting right now. There are new energies that are coming in, and there are things that none of us have any control over. We're just like kind of pawns and kind of playing out the big scheme of things. Okay, so as a result, when you look around, you're going to find that there are a lot more. If you look at colleges and universities today, you will see that a large percentage of the student body that make up that body today is female, not male.
That's
and
true.
I'm saying you're going to find that to be true in almost every institution that's co-ed throughout the whole world. This is just a fact.
Okay.
All right? If you look from a political standpoint, places where there's never, or I won't say never, but for a long, long time, there has been an absence of female leadership, such as I think in Pakistan, or even in Africa, Liberia. They had their first female president in a long time.
And we still haven't had one.
Very true, very true, very true. But I think it's coming, and I won't get into that so much about.
Sure.
I'll pass. I think there were some issues that occurred. However, and just moving forward, that female principle of energy, you're just going to see more of it. And it's just not a lot that could be done to prevent this. It's happening with a consciousness that's much greater than what we have here on Earth today.
So if someone wants to go into leadership,
yes,
or want to go to entrepreneurship, what kind of advice will you give to them? What do they need to do? How do they get there?
Okay, there's a lot of different ways. There's more than one way. First of all, as I mentioned, through formal education is one route of actually getting there. But it's not the only way. It is not the only way. And another thing, let's say that one did take that approach. Let's say they took that route and they went and they attained a business degree or whatever to prepare themselves for the business world and entrepreneurship. That's great, but I think also what they have to do is to get more back into self. And what I'm speaking of is, metaphysically speaking, is through meditation, doing certain things that allow them to actually discover more about themselves, what's unique about it, to gain more of an understanding of what their passions are. You understand? In doing business, if you're doing things that you're passionate about, you're just going to come across much more, it's just going to be better. You're going to be much more genuine in your approach. And what happens when you are genuine, you are able to speak with a higher level of veracity. And when you do this, you're going to gain the confidence of your audience, of your target market, to a much greater degree.
So what I heard you say is that it's very critical to know who you are as a person and translate or take that and make that a part of your business.
Absolutely.
That way you can speak from a true place, so that you can better connect with your audience.
You can better connect from your audience, and also just from, again, I'm speaking metaphysically, is that as we come into Earth, everyone has unique skills. Everyone has, his or her own gift.
Sure.
And what happens is once you're able to tap into that and externalize that, you become an integral player in the divine scheme of life.
So self-awareness, self-development cannot be taken separately from our professional lives or whatever it is that we want to achieve.
I won't say that it can't be, but I say that it shouldn't be.
It should not be.
Exactly.
Okay. So, Ronnie, tell us, when we're talking about leadership, we are talking about entrepreneurship. Are there people who are predestined or pre-oriented towards these goals or these roles?
Very good question. No, the reason I say that is because there are different schools of thought related to that. And I studied business. I studied business management on a undergraduate and graduate level, and I got into entrepreneurship, some training in that. And when you're going through school, they basically teach that one can be trained, one can learn to become a leader. And the big question is that true? I say yes, to a certain degree. However, there's no doubt in my mind that you have certain people who are born. They are born with the predisposition of being able to lead others. And actually, there's these chakras, the chakra energy, and I'll just speak to that just a little bit. But all people have 7 dominant chakras, and based on which chakra is dominant in that individual will determine how that person will act and react to certain situations while they're in this lifetime. Now, you have people, for instance, who might be 3rd chakra dominant, such as myself. I learned this. I found that I'm 3rd chakra dominant. And a 3rd chakra dominant person comes with a predisposition of being a leader, of having charisma and being able to influence others.
So you can learn to become a leader just about anything else. I can learn to play soccer, but I will not be Messi.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And so when it comes to leadership, when it comes to entrepreneurship, it's not for everyone either. You can try and you can work your way towards there, but the best thing to do is to find what's actually true to you.
Yes.
And then when you're true to that, you can actually manifest yourself better, and you'll do better as a result of it coming from deep inside you and being a part of who you are.
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
So any other thoughts that you have for our viewers? Anything else that you would like to share with us?
Yes, I would like to kind of piggyback on my first response to your question, and that is the way that the universe is going today, and things are just shifting. And as I mentioned, I can't reiterate this enough because we don't have a lot of control over this. And with the things that are changing, everybody's going to have to just become comfortable with women being in roles of authority at a much higher degree. You understand? That, like I say, we don't have much control over it. It's going. Let me just mention this right here. We have on Earth, being here on Earth, 1 year, 365 and 1/4 days, meaning Earth revolves around the sun. That's how long it takes. As it revolves around, it's going through its precession. As it goes, it goes through phases. And from 1 year to the next, you kind of know what things are going to be when you get to that particular month. What I want to say is, our solar system actually revolves around a larger sun. There is a central sun that our solar system revolves around. And this typically takes about 25,000 years, give or take a few, depending on who's the author, who's dictating, or who's doing the talking, but roughly about 25,000 years. And as it goes through it, a little over 2,000 years, I see about 2,100, again, give or take just a little, we will go through a particular age. And what we're doing right now is we are transitioning from one age, and again, from a zodiac perspective, or from coming from the zodiacs, they would say we're transitioning from the age of Pisces and we're entering the age of Aquarius. Okay. And in that age of Aquarius, we're going from what is considered the dark age into lightness and awareness. That's where we are. And so these things are happening simultaneously. The energies that are coming in, females are processing this light energy that's coming in at a particular level that's enabling them to function in certain levels of authority.
So back to leadership and entrepreneurship, is there a way for one to know that they are meant to be a leader or they are meant to be an entrepreneur? Is there a path to this? Is there a way for anyone to know this?
Yeah, I'd say for the most part, you should refer back to when you were younger and the things that excited you, things that you were passionate about. It's going to kind of let you know what you were predispositioned to do. Just going back to that. And again, thinking about things that you like doing today. Okay, it's going to kind of dictate that. But again, when there's any doubt, I say you go within. Go within, go into the silence, become quiet, and just speak. Speak to self and wait for answers, and you'll get them.
That's amazing. So I have 3 children.
Okay.
And already I can see where they lean towards.
Yes.
The middle one seem to have a natural instinct for entrepreneurship.
Gotcha.
The older one is more like, okay, traditional old school path. We can already see that. I can almost picture his whole future, and I can almost see what he might decide to do in the future. The youngest is more like, I don't know yet, and we don't think anyone knows yet. So I understand what you're saying, that a lot of times growing up, parents can actually tell some of these things that the kids are leaning towards. So down the road, when you are not too sure, perhaps it will not be a bad idea to talk to your parents to see, what did you see in me? What were some of the things, if you don't remember yourself, to talk to the parents to see, what did you see? What were some of the things that I was drawn to? And perhaps that will be something that can also help to kind of guide that person to decide on which area or what it is that they want to do.
Absolutely. And I can speak to that. I have 3 daughters myself.
Okay.
And one of the older ones, when she was young, she's an artist by nature, and she would paint a picture, draw something, and she's like, "Daddy, come on, let's go next door. I want to sell my pictures."
Wow.
Today she's an entrepreneur. Okay, my youngest daughter, pretty much kind of the same. She's getting at Columbia University studying her MBA. Okay, so getting ready for the big world of business and entrepreneurship.
Yes. So Lucas, what else do you have to say to our viewers?
What else do I have to say? I would say to my viewers, or to our viewers, that they might as well prepare themselves to be able to deal with more women in the workplace who's going to be functioning in the capacity of leadership. Just be prepared. There's not a whole lot that we can actually do about it. You look around in your colleges, universities, you look at just things that women are doing, and you see that they are really coming to the forefront.
And thank you so very much for joining us today. I'm Abla Doku. That was Ronnie Lucas, founder and CEO of Platinum Dynamic Institute on leadership and entrepreneurship. This does it for us today. See you next time on Women's Eye View.